Okay, so here's our problem, guys. We have the square root of 7x minus 14 minus 1 equals 3x minus 21. So the first thing we're going to do here is we need to get the square root part by itself. So we're going to add 1 to both sides. And that's going to leave us with the square root of 7x minus 14 equals 3x minus 20. Okay, and so now what we need to do is we need to square both sides. So let's go ahead and do that. So remember, the square and the square root will cancel each other out. And over here, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to write 3x minus 20 twice so that we can, so that we can figure out what we got here. So 3 times 3, that's 9x squared. 3 and 20 is a negative 60x. We've got another negative 60x. And then minus 20 is a positive 400. So 7x minus 14 equals 9x squared minus 120x plus 400. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to subtract 7x and we're going to add 14. So subtract 7x and we're going to add 14. And so these here will cancel. And so I'm going to have 9x squared. So let me write that on the next slide. 9x squared. And then since these are both negative, that's going to give me a negative 127x. Negative 127x. And then 414 should be a 414, right? Okay, so now when I get to this step here, guys, I'm going to use the quadratic formula. I think it's going to make it easier. So a is 9, just because my numbers are so massive. 14, okay. So now I'm just going to write out my formula. Okay, here we go. And let's start plugging our numbers in. Okay, so there we go. Let's see, the first part of the formula says negative b, and b is a negative 127 plus or minus big square root b squared, so a negative 127 squared minus 4 times a times c all over 2 times a. Okay. So let's see, negative of negative 127 is a positive 127 plus or minus big square root. Let me take my calculator here, so let me get it here. Let's clear it out. We're going to go 127 squared is 16,129. So 16,129 minus whatever 4 times 19 times 414 is. Let's see. 4 times 19. No, that doesn't seem right, does it? It's 18, no? 4 times 9, sorry. 4 times 9 times 414. So let me fix that. Let's see. Delete that. There we go. 4 times 9 times 414. 14,904. So 14,904. Let's see, all over 18. Okay. And so now on the next page, we're going to write x equals 127 plus or minus big square root. Let's go ahead and subtract the 16,129 and the 49 or 14,904. Okay, so let's do it like this. Let me grab my calculator. So we're going to say 16,129 minus 14,904, 1225. Okay, so 1225 all over 18. Okay, 127 plus or minus. Now let's take the square root of that guy. So come back here, second square root of my answer, 35. Nice and pretty, right? So guys, that's the reason why I said let's use the quadratic formula, because trying to factor it I think would be a lot harder than using the formula. The numbers are big, but that's why we got our calculators, right? Okay, so remember, we're going to do one when we add. So we're going to take 127 plus 35 over 18, and we're going to see what we're going to get. Okay, so let's try that. 127 plus 35 equals, divided by 18 equals 9. Okay, so the first answer is 9. Let's do the next one where we got to subtract. So 127 minus 35 divided by 18. 5 and 1/9. We'll fix that. So we got 5 and 1/9. Let's write it as an improper fraction. So 9 times 5, 45, one more, 46. 46 over 9. Okay, and then at this point, guys, y'all still need to do the check. Okay, but these are the two answers that I'm coming up with. And don't forget, you still need to check by coming back to the, let's see, by coming back to the original problem right here and checking to see which one of those two answers is going to work, okay? But that's basically how I would do the problem. Y'all got any questions? Let me know. I'm happy to help.